Welcome to This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, your local experts on all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Listen in as they discuss the current state of the market, the latest trends, and have a little fun while doing it. We do want to say the opinions voiced on this podcast are for general information only and not intended to provide specific advice or recommendations for any individuals.
Hey Trent, what do you think about whispering this show? You may not have been able to hear that, but Trent just squawked at me through the little kitty monitor over here in the corner. I keep wanting to do a whisper show, and he says that's a bad idea. What do you think, Bryan?
I don't think that we should.
Okay, well, there you go.
You're overruled.
2-1. Okay. Speaking of voting...
Let's go right into headlines. Yes, take us there, Trent.
Oh, man.
We have too much fun. All right, so headlines. If you live in Rutherford County, I know that we have people like my cousin Andrew who watch this show from all over the country. But if you do happen to live in Rutherford County, this is a very important 2-week period where you can early vote. And it's a big election. We have the county mayor is up for election later this fall, and so is the sheriff. There's several school board seats that are up for election. So the thing that I felt like was important for us to use this space for, because this is a real estate show. So the thing that I feel like it's important.
But everything you just mentioned absolutely impacts real estate.
Completely. So yeah, you just put that right. I mean, you just put that on the tee for me. These decisions that our county citizens will make for elections this fall will absolutely drive the growth strategy, the budget decisions, the tax strategies, the quality of schools and the education in our community for the next several years. So we need to get it right as we can.
And I think it's important to note that we've done historically. We've done a pretty good job. I mean, not without bumps and bruises. We've had.
Okay, you went a different direction. Yes, we have. We've done a pretty good job.
And Rutherford County has grown for as much as possible, right? Again, bumps and bruises, but we've grown consistently. We've grown for the most part intelligently. I mean, there's been some things that I'm like, kind of head scratcher. But then there's other things where we've attracted business in. We've got jobs. We've got, I saw a report where we're way ahead of the state in the top 3 for unemployment rate, like in a good way, right? The lowest. Okay, there's a bingo card item right there. Never have I ever heard a doorbell in here.
Say hi to everybody, Trent.
Hey, everybody.
We're experimenting with walkie-talkie systems. I'm going to turn this off.
That's a good idea. So the point being that the whoever the incoming person is for these seats, the school board seats,
Missy's going to take this.
Yeah, thank you. Whoever that person is, their responsibility is new initiatives for sure, but also preserve the growth, the good parts of what's been done. Don't come in and just immediately try to change everything.
There's so much that's just from the county standpoint. The big issue, obviously, is the landfill.
That's a big issue.
And I think I kind of buried the lead here. And here's the lead. Here's what people really need to know and understand. When I started to kind of react to what you were going to say, we have done historically a very poor job with voter turnout.
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
If you look at the number of voters, registered voters in this county versus how many actually show up to the polls and vote,
it's abysmal.
It is abysmal. And so you're just this select few people will dictate the outcomes of this election, but they're self-selecting. So if you want to have a say, you can absolutely make a difference. Every vote will matter. And here's the big thing is that Tennessee, despite what you might see on social media or in the news, we are a no-party state. That means you can vote in any primary that you want to vote in. And so what I'm encouraging my friends to do this election and because I said, all right, this fall is the general election, and that is true. But for county sheriff and county mayor, there are no registered Democrats running for office. So if you,
which is crazy to me.
So
but
if-
I mean, I guess
if you want to have and there's no independents either. So if you want to have a say in who is going to be our next county mayor or our next county sheriff, you have got to vote in the Republican primary. So if you are normally kind of moderate and you can go either way, or if you lean a little left and you want to have a say in who is going to lead our county and run our county for the next cycle, then you've got to go show up and vote in the Republican primary.
And you need to understand the sheriff is not just the person that's in charge of the cars with the green labels on the side of them. Right. The county sheriff's department runs the county jail. They do a lot of drug enforcement. They do a lot of warrant serving.
They're the SROs in the schools.
All the SROs, all of the security and whatnot over at the courthouse over here. I mean, the Missy just pointed out the workhouse. So it's far from just the patrol cars that we see running the interstate. There is a lot of responsibility on that person's shoulders.
So please just take some time to educate yourself on. And if you're watching this and you're like, "Hey, I'm planning on voting," then you already know who you're voting for. If you're not and you're watching this and you're like, "Man, I really think I'm going to vote this year," educate yourself on the candidates. Don't show up and be surprised at the names that you see there and just kind of go, "Oh man, which one of these am I going to vote for?"
It's not really fulfilling your responsibility. Let's be honest about it.
Who has the most signs? That's not the way to vote. So that's my encouragement to this local community. You can early vote through April 30th at a multitude of different locations.
It's no longer a specific place that's your precinct or whatever.
That's true.
You can go anywhere that has a voting district.
Trent, can you zoom in on this?
I don't think you can zoom. It says.
So I just voted on the square before this show. You can like normally I go over and I vote at SportsCom because it's close to the house. I work out there. It's convenient. But today, because I was doing the show and I had a little bit of time between my networking group and this,
he had a little bit of time to be late.
Yeah, I ran into a buddy, Grady Payne, held me up. But
GP, it's always your fault, bud.
I had no wait to vote. Like there was literally walk in, show the ID, walk right over to the ballot, and cast my vote. So it's definitely
good
doable stuff. And it doesn't take much time. You got till April 30th to early vote. If you miss that window, you can vote in the live election on May 5th.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, that's good.
That's as political as I ever want to be, really. I just encourage people to take part in their local politics, because national politics and state politics, the more local it gets, the more it matters to you.
On a daily basis.
On a daily basis.
Yeah, for sure.
If you think about, the things that happen in Washington, D.C. absolutely are going to impact us. But on a daily basis, the things that we do here locally matter a whole lot.
Yeah, the potholes in the road, all kinds of stuff. I have another a little soapbox. I'm not going to get on it today, but if you ever want to have a conversation about primaries and how I feel like they impact the overall political climate in the country, that's a fun conversation to have. So anyway, I digress. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Cool. So there's another headline that I think we should mention.
It's coming soon.
It's coming up. So the Fed just met, which is interesting because I think there's a lot of people who want a smooth off ramp for Jerome Powell. Like, okay, he's served 2 terms. We know. I mean, that his term ends on May 15th. That's done. That's said.
No changing.
That's happening. But yes, on Tuesday, 3 Justice Department officials showed up unannounced at the Fed's construction site, looking to investigate a $2.5 billion renovation project. So there's some.
I've missed this.
There is some stirring of that pot. An interview on Fox Business Wednesday morning, President Trump, when asked what he would do if Powell does not resign from his position as governor when his term as chair is up, said, "Well, I'll have to fire him." I mean, that's
okay.
That's what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
So,
like, there's a mechanism in place. Yeah. It is what it is. Yeah.
So anyway, I'd be watching that, and remember, the Fed sets the short-term interest rates, but the tea leaves of what they're going to be doing is what really moves mortgage rates. And so that'll be interesting to watch as the new person's starting to come in and Jerome Powell's exiting the stage.
Are there any rumblings yet as to who that new person is? Is there a candidate list? Is there does anybody have any idea? Because one thing that the market doesn't like is unknown, right?
Yeah, there is, and I can't think of his name off the top of my head. I'm looking for that right now. It's something I probably should know.
Same.
Yeah,
that's right. Well, you can look for it and come back to it.
it's Kevin Warsh. Kevin Warsh is Trump's pick for the Fed chair, and it's tradition for that if the president has made it known who he's going to pick for the next chair, it's traditional for the outgoing or the incumbent to just resign. And so they're asking Jerome Powell, what if what if he doesn't resign? And Trump's like, I'm going to fire him, and that's
yeah.
Okay,
it's the end of your term.
Yeah.
I mean, what argument can you have against that?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. Excellent. So we'll see. And anytime there's volatility, man, there's room for things to happen. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. And I tell people all the time in the real estate side of things, volatility means opportunity if you know how to cash in on it. So when rates are high like they are right now or higher, there's opportunity for buyers. When rates drop substantially, there's opportunities for sellers. But even within those two circumstances, the opposite is true as well if you know what to look for. So
just a little bit more color on the chair, the Fed chair thing is that it's actually the president does not have the authority to fire fire him. So and Kevin Warsh's confirmation has been delayed. So there is this weirdness that's happening on that stage. So a lot of people are thinking that the investigation into the renovation of the Fed's building is a politically motivated tactic to try to pressure Jerome Powell to lower rates. When Jerome Powell is not wanting to, quote unquote, or bend the knee to, and he's wanting to, do what he thinks is right for the economy.
But his term is up, so he can't stay, right?
He can stay. If there's no one confirmed to take his place,
then he has to stay.
Then so there's nobody else there for that position. So there's without the confirmation of Kevin Warsh, then and if the president Trump cannot fire him legally, then he de facto stays until there's somebody else confirmed. So it's there. That's where I think we were talking about the smooth off ramp. As much as the GOP and the Republicans want that smooth off ramp, there's a whole lot happening there.
And again, volatility creates instability, which creates panic, which creates a retraction of good things.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how else to say that.
People sit on their hands.
Yeah.
People when there's uncertainty, there's going to be some people who are going to look for opportunities, but the majority of people in an uncertain environment are going to sit on their hands.
They turtle up.
And I think about what's happened with and again, anecdotally, right? This is my experience since everything started in Iran about 6 weeks ago. I went from getting 5 to 7 loan applications a week to 1 or 2, maybe 3. Mm-hmm. So I think that instability, that uncertainty has whether regardless of what rates did, I think that uncertainty kind of made people go ahead and because it's not just mortgage rates people are looking at. They're looking at like how much does it cost to fill out my car? How much are groceries?
That's what I was going to say.
So the cost of living by and large is affected, and if mortgage rates aren't moving lower, then there's a lot of uncertainty about what someone will be able to afford.
Well, and so let's just take a little off ramp as you were calling it into the mind of a normal consumer, right? Okay, so 8 weeks ago, hey, I think we can do this. Rates have dropped a little bit. We've seen house prices come down. Jonathan has said this about prices, and we can negotiate a little bit. Brian has said this about rates. Our affordability is right in that little sweet spot, the top end of the sweet spot, but it's there, right? So let's start thinking about it. Boom, war in Iran, right? Okay, what is this going to do? Shut down Strait of Hormuz. Gas prices almost double, right? I mean, like within 2 weeks,
yeah,
right? Okay, well, we got to think about that. Well, gas prices go up, so does the shipping of literally everything.
I mean, if what you're paying at the pump doubled, look at what diesel has done.
Exactly. And I mean, I saw it over $5 a gallon the other day.
And what powers the trucks that bring our goods to us?
And the trains. And yes. So all of the above, right? So all of a sudden, when I went to the grocery store and it was already high at $200 for that visit, it's now $280 or $300. Okay. Well, and rates then go up simultaneously. So everything about affordability of my life goes up, right? And this is not a I agree or disagree with the war.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that.
Right.
It has everything to do with the reality that we have because of that.
Of the war.
Yes, exactly. And so now I'm sitting here going, well, what I thought was going to be okay to swing, holy cow, within a month, it's not.
Yeah.
Or I have to rethink about it, and I have to readjust, and I have to replan. I've been doing this for 8 months, 9 months, trying to plan this out. I felt good about it, and then everything changed.
Yeah. That's where we are.
That's where we are.
Yeah. I mean, that's the state of the market. So
yeah.
This Week in Real Estate, brought to you by Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale.
There you go. It's almost like we planned that.
Yeah, let's go to This Is Real.
My favorite part of the show right here.
I think we might have stumped Trent on this. Because
there
we go.
Oh, there we go.
All right. So when Erica and I had a townhome in Laverne, it was actually Erica's. She bought it. It was the first place that she owned. We were going to buy our first home together, right? And so we listed the townhome. Somebody wrote us a low ball offer. Okay. And the low ball offer comes in, and we don't even counter. Meanwhile, another offer comes in. It looks pretty good. We started negotiation with them. Meanwhile, while we're negotiating with that second offer, the people who wrote the first offer come back in with a number that's just a little bit lower than the first number, but they're going to throw in a Dodge Ram pickup truck.
Oh, look out now. Was it in good shape? Did you get to look at the truck?
I never looked at the truck. Imagine that.
I don't even know. Is that even legal?
I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't be.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
well, so
their lender might have some problems with getting their mortgage done with that scenario.
I mean, obviously, y'all, that picture was terrible. You couldn't even see the house. And I don't know if the person used the flash or if that was just the sun reflecting in the window of it. I mean, it was the
I'd
picture,
imagine that was a reflection.
It literally hurt to look at that.
Yeah.
I mean, like my retina is still burned a little bit from the flash there or the sun or whatever it was. But
the question always looms: does the vehicle convey?
Y'all do better. And listen, clients, home sellers, if your agent does that, you need a different agent.
Yeah.
I think I'm legal to say that. It's not really interference. It's not specific.
It's not specific. Look, that's not a for sale by owner. That's lifted from the MLS. That's not a Facebook Marketplace listing. that is on the MLS somewhere in this country.
Do better.
Yeah.
Now, in fairness, long time ago, before I got into actually, they still did it for about 2, maybe 3 years after I got licensed. Real Tracks, because they had really just kind of started to ramp up online listings. They still weren't great. A lot of agents put no pictures online.
Yeah. Either
they didn't know how or they didn't care to or whatever, right? I started immediately with professional photos because it was the right thing to do. And it at that point, it set you apart.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, what Real Tracks would do is for a very small fee, it was like $25, that because they just wanted to have pictures online, they would actually send their own photographer out and take a front picture of your listing.
Oh, regardless of what might have been parked in front of your house that day.
Well,
yeah,
that was, they would send you a little thing and it would say, make sure cars are gone, blah, 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 blah. But yeah, you would say, hey, you could opt in for them to go take a picture and it would just be a front picture.
Some more real estate trivia for the general public there. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Man.
Love it.
I'm that guy that's like, oh, back in my day. Anyway.
Real Tracks used to take our pictures for us.
They would drive uphill both ways in the snow. And
Oh man, I don't know that we've got a shiny penny today,
No,
but we do have a bingo card.
I've got a bingo card item. Do we have a graphic for that, Trent?
He does. No?
I thought he made one. That is right.
We're going to flash back to a conversation we just had 5 minutes ago.
We did,
about the election.
I did not see on my bingo card having trouble parking on the square because of political sign trucks. Didn't have that one on my bingo card.
That's got to be a southeast thing, right? It's got to be a southern thing. Main Street, Murfreesboro went live on Facebook earlier today.
Shout out to Sarah.
Sarah Weeks Calendar
Sean from
Woods Viking stood in front of his barbershop and said, "Look, like there's a row of flatbed trucks and pickup trucks with big cabs and big beds and big signs in the back of their trucks because the
voting precinct.
A lot of people come to the square and drive around the square every day, and then there's also a voting precinct on the square, and so they're parking their trucks there all day. I think the parking ticket's like $2, $3.
Yes, $3.
So for them, it's worth paying $3 a day or whatever. Because I don't even know how it works. Do they get one ticket per day?
I think so. I think there might be a time frame, like 6 hours or something.
So
where they
you
might
can
get
park
another
for
one.
2 hours before you get a ticket. So they're just parking their trucks there all day long and leaving their trucks there, and it's just soaking up downtown parking, which is already
I counted 8.
an issue.
I counted 8 trucks, and here's. Oh, and they're moving it around to a different spot every 2 hours. Yeah, that makes sense. So they're not even willing to pay the $3.
They're not even paying the $3 fine.
Come on, y'all. And the crazy part is there's yard signs or like the stuck in the ground signs all over the square also.
Yeah.
So it's not like the people that have these big Bubba trucks don't have coverage in the square anyway.
Again, please don't vote for who has the biggest or most signs.
Yeah.
Just don't.
Yeah. Anyway, bless y'all's heart. Be a little more considerate of small business, would you? That'd be great.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. I guess since we didn't have a shiny penny, we covered a lot and this week in headlines and market movers.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of local conversation.
We went fast, yo.
This feels like it was a fast show. I feel like did we miss a segment?
No.
Missy says no.
Okay. Well, we got a few things going on. I want to throw some stuff out there. Can I do that?
Throw it out.
Okay. So we've got a couple of sponsorship opportunities over at Cedar Glade, and it has to be for the right people. But if you're interested in this, I've actually got several things. We've got an office space for rent at Cedar Glade. If you need a little small space for a pretty cheap price, let me know about that. But also International Folk Fest. It's the 43rd Folk Fest. It's the third one that we've hosted a capstone event for them, and I've got a really cool package for the right person for that. So if you have an interest in writing it's not a small check, let's put it that way, but getting something really cool for your clients or for your employees, whatever, let me know about that. And then chamber members, my friends in the chamber, we've got business after hours, and we're looking for a couple sponsors to help us with the cost of that. Both of those things are in June. So don't delay, act now. Supplies are run. Remember that song?
Yeah.
Yeah. And give us a shout. Let us know if that's something you're interested in.
Excellent. Well, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate everyone very much. And go vote.
That's it. See ya. Hey, Trent, we're done.
Thank you for listening to another episode of This Week in Real Estate with Jonathan Harmon and Bryan Nale, your go-to resource for all things real estate in Middle Tennessee. Be sure to like, share, follow, subscribe, and leave us a 5-star review. We will see y'all on the next one.
Now for the nitty-gritty. Premise Mortgage Company is a subsidiary of Premise Bank, a member FDIC. Premise Mortgage NMLS number 1894879, BK number 1042893, ML number 1894879. As always, all loans are subject to credit approval and product guidelines. Equal housing lender.